For today's You Can't Make It Up segment, we want to take a small 2x4 to some CBO analysis about how President Trump's big beautiful bill is going to impact people. This analysis finds the biggest driver of loss for lower income families is cuts to Medicaid and SNAP. But as we've talked about in almost every episode here, I know I sound like a broken record, those cuts to Medicaid and SNAP overwhelmingly impact illegal immigrants. Both Medicaid and SNAP are giving resources to illegal immigrants, but also men in their 20s, 30s, and 40s playing video games in their underwear at home, choosing not to work. We know from CBO's own analysis that there is a large number of people using those programs and taking the benefit. And that is what these cuts are for. But CBO does not include that in their analysis. So as CBO talks about cutting $1,600 per year from the lowest income Americans, you have to again remember that the people that are being targeted with that are either ineligible people from the programs who your senior citizen grandma is having to compete with to get basic care, or illegal immigrants. The other part of this analysis that really bothered me was this particular line from CBS's coverage of the report. The analysis also argues that the One Big Beautiful Bill boosts the government resources going to the highest earning 10% of U.S. households by $12,000 per year. But as you read that analysis a little bit further, those government resources going to the wealthy that they're referring to aren't some kind of gift or handout. They're referring to how much those people are taxed. So they're referring to our private income that hasn't even been taxed yet as a government resource that should be considered here. The money we haven't even been made yet, CBO is using to score as a resource to give out or take back. I think that's outrageous and un-American. So again, as you learn more about the Big Beautiful Bill, you will overwhelmingly hear negative coverage because reports like this. And you'll see these same reports from CBO talk about how the distribution of these resources is not even. But that's because the collection of taxes is not even. People that make more money pay overall a lot more taxes. And the bottom line here, the Big Beautiful Bill is full of incredibly positive things that you're never hearing about in media. A middle-class tax cut that people desperately need right now. Funds to close the border and continue to carry out the deportation of dangerous criminal illegal immigrants that 70 to 80% of the country overwhelmingly supports. Fixes to Medicaid that will allow people that you care about to access Medicaid more easily because they're taking people like illegal immigrants and men in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who are choosing not to work and playing video games off the program so that your people that you care about that deserve to be on the program, the widows, the orphans, the disabled, the people that actually need it, can get that care without having to compete. So again, as you see this coverage and you hear Democrats talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill, remember that context. The media and the Congressional Budget Office and everybody else is actively working against things that make this a very, very good bill.